When I first walked into Aiken High School as a 7th grader, I expected high school to be hard, which I wasn't wrong. It is hard. At this point, I already had this basic goal set in my head that I'm just going to get through my basic classes, math, science, history, English, the basics, and just force myself to get through them so I could graduate. I didn't really expect myself to enjoy some of the classes that I would be taking, and I didn't expect myself to be taking some of the classes I ended up taking. Initially, I really don't think I even expected to make any connections with teachers, because in the elementary school, I was what you'd call more of like an introvert when it comes to adults, so I wasn't really that close to any of the teachers. But over the years in the high school, I have developed connections with certain teachers that are awesome and have helped me get to where I am. Something that I personally believe is that me graduating isn't just from my hard work, but also the hard work of people who are around me that helped me get to where I am now. For example, my friends. I couldn't possibly have gotten this far without them, because they've helped me learn to relax and have fun and do things and not stress over everything, because I can be somewhat of a worrywart. And then my family was also there. They were the ones that made me do the things that I was procrastinating against doing or just didn't feel like doing. They pushed me to pass my classes, to make sure that I got to the point that I can graduate, which I appreciate. I might have complained a lot, but I appreciate. I think the things that really made my high school experience, though, as amazing as it was, were the things that I did with family and friends. Like the study sessions that I'd have with my friends, we would meet the goal by the end of the day, but we'd have fun doing it. And sometimes even one of my friends would join that don't have any missing assignments, or they already finished whatever project we're trying to get done. Last minute, probably, too. But they're just coming to help. It was almost like having your own personal tutor, but you didn't have to pay for them, which was kind of nice. I'm not going to complain. I believe it was quite nice having the friends I have, since I have brothers and I had to go to a lot of sports or concerts for them, and I could just snatch one of my friends and be like, hey, you're going through this torture with me, and then we just sit down and have to sit through one of my brother's concerts, basketball games, wrestling matches, sometimes even baseball games. It was a lot easier to get through those situations with someone else with me than by myself, because I promise you I would have been internally and externally crying from boredom. I've actually pulled out some quotes that I believe I can relate to quite closely when it comes to friendship and why it's such an important thing to have. So the first quote I have is, "Friendship is a very comforting thing to have." It's a quote by Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, but relatable. Just having a friend there can be comforting. They don't have to say anything, which kind of also relates to the quote that I have that's labeled by unknown, so kind of weird, but whatever. I don't exactly know who did it, but it says, "Friends are like walls. Sometimes you lean on them, and sometimes it's good just knowing that they're there." Where I personally think that it means that you can talk to them about something that's happening in your life, or sometimes you can just have them near you while you just are there trying to get over something that's happening, and they're like your emotional support in the back, helping you get through said situation. And then another important quote to me is that no friendship is an accident, by O. Henry. I feel like this quote is such an important factor to friendship, because a lot of friendships break apart in high school and college, but I don't think you should regret those friendships ever actually happening. I think you just need to learn from them. And then the last quote I have about friendship is, "Things are never quite as scary when you got a best friend," by Bill Watterson? Don't ask me. Which I believe this quote is 100% true, because I believe that high school has been so much less scary having my friends with me. Yeah, that would have been interesting without them. Another big contributor to making my high school experience enjoyable and fun was band. That's something I really enjoy doing, and it was relaxing, and it didn't really stress me out. Unless a band concert was rolling around, then I'd be crazy stressed, but we don't have to talk about that. I feel like one of the reasons why band is such an important factor for me is because you can go in and you can be the worst possible player ever, but as long as you put effort in and practice and try, which, by the way, if you do that, you shouldn't be the worst possible player ever. But if you do all those things, you will pass that class, and you can make really awesome connections with other members in the class also, because it's like such a close-knit community in a way. Okay, so I believe I have finally finished this video, which this would probably be like my 27th try. But yeah, so this is my like senior legacy video. Yay! Be taking, and I didn't expect myself to be taking some of the classes I ended up taking initially. Oh, that's a spider. Oh, that's a big spider.